Okay, well, good morning again. My name is Richard Kaywood, and I'm the assistant, or one of the two assistant county administrators for Roanoke County, and it's been my pleasure to serve as the overall county lead person on this project. And I'd like to start by doing what's actually the hardest part of this whole ceremony for me, which is trying to recognize all the people that I'm supposed to recognize. So I apologize in advance if we missed you. We've tried very hard to locate folks. First, I'd like to recognize our Board of Supervisors Chairman, Jason Peters, who's sitting right up front, will be speaking shortly. And he's also joined by one of his fellow board members, Ms. Charlotte Moore. We also have Nancy Horn, our Commissioner of Revenue, in the audience as well. Also, I'd like to recognize my boss will be speaking, Tom Gates, and also my counterpart, Dan O'Donnell, our other Assistant County Administrator. And there are many, many, many members of county staff, both in the building, around the building, and helping out this morning, and we certainly appreciate their assistance. We also have with us today Town of Vinton Mayor Brad Gross will be speaking soon, as well as several members of the Vinton Town Council, including Doug Adams, Matthew Hare, Sabrina McCarthy, and we also have former council member Wes Nance, whose name you'll see on the plaque inside, and town manager Chris Lawrence, and again a number of members of his team as well. I'd like to now start pointing out a few members of our project team, and I think they're a lot of those folks are in the other tent over here on my left. Peter Boylick, who is one of the principals of our architecture firm, Holzheimer's, Boylick, and Meehan, which we simply refer to as HBM, along with our lead architect, Jamie Shook. And they also have with them Steve Doyle, who was kind of our man in the field, so to speak, during construction. He was here almost every day of the project. And this is our third project in our library system with HBM, and I think that their whimsical designs have certainly caught the public imagination, and they've won awards for their previous projects, and I would certainly expect no less here with what you'll see today. Also part of our project team, we have Ricky Lawrence with OWPR, who did all of the engineering work on the project with the mechanical and electrical and things of that nature, as well as the site work, and also I believe David Hill from Hill Studios, who did all the landscaping work, and I think also had a role in our county's first green roof is here. We also have Troy Smith, who's the president of Avis Construction, which was our contractor for this project, and he's joined by Robert Martin, who was the project field superintendent. I'd like to mention a couple of the county staff people who had major roles in this project. First is Rob Light, who served along with me as the project manager for the project, and he's also our acting director of general services. Sarah Vaughn, who many of you have already gotten to know, she's our Vinton Library branch manager, and I think is looking very forward to being at her new home here at the library. And Rick Gardner, who is with our COM IT department. These buildings, as much as anything, are IT facilities nowadays, and there's a huge amount of work to make all the computer equipment work, and he's been a big part of that. I do regret to inform folks that Diana Rosapep, our library director, was unable to be here this morning for this opening, and we certainly all miss her not being here this morning, but she's certainly been an integral part of not only the project, but also today's event. I'd also like to recognize Scott and Penny Phelps. I believe Penny is here somewhere in the crowd. She's in the back now, I see her. They are the proprietors of Land of 1,000 Hills, which will be the coffee shop that's going to be located in the building. They currently have a very nice coffee shop at Daleville Town Center in Botetourt that I visited, and they make great coffee and food there. And they are in the process of making their final preparations to be open, but you get a little bit of an advance with them because they'll be providing the coffee for today's event. So we're very glad with the investment that they're making in the town and in the project, and look forward to seeing them be very successful here. And finally, as far as introductions and recognitions, I'd like to recognize Ms. Dorothy Peters, who is here today. She was one of the original owners of the land on which we sit, which has a long history in our community, so we appreciate her being here this morning as well. And then I'd like to do one final one by way of a story, and this goes back to the spring of 2013 when I was a brand new county employee. Our former board chairman, Mike Altizer, who most of you probably know, invited me to come out to the site. And I knew at that point I was going to be kind of overseeing this project, but I knew, to be honest, at that point in time, very little about Vinton. I knew very little. Actually, I'd never been to the site before. And Mike said, I want you to meet me out here. And we set a time and a date. And he walked me back to the back corner here at the corner of Jackson and Maple, and he said, you know, Richard, there's some really great views of the mountains if you could only get high enough to see them, and I really think we ought to make the library take advantage of that. And that kind of simple conversation one afternoon here almost 2 years ago now kind of drove the design for the project. So I wanted to recognize Mike and for his role in getting the project started, but also for really helping me to see what this could become in a way that I never would have on my own. So I appreciate that. With that, we began work in December of 2013. Many of you were here when we broke ground with the demolition of the former Dunman Floral Supply business, and we advertised our project for construction in January of 2014. We awarded the project to Avis, and they broke ground on April 3rd of 2014. And I'd like to recognize them because throughout the life of the project, and I've worked on many projects in my career, Avis has been extraordinarily professional to work with, and I'm really impressed with the quality that they've delivered with this project. And that's on a building that has many elements that are very difficult to construct. As far as the program for this morning, after our distinguished speakers, we're going to invite you to take a brief tour of the building. And I'd like to point out a few things that you're going to see as you do that, or maybe some things you won't see that I'd like you to notice. First, when you walk into the main floor of the building, you will actually be about 2 feet above the ground level. So the floor and the whole ground level is a raised floor. That's where all the air conditioning comes in. That's where all of our wires are hidden. All the electrical comes in that way. And it's something that costs more to build, but it really makes the building much more flexible for the future, where we don't know what wires will need to go under there later, and we don't have to tear the building up to redo that. And it also gets rid of a lot of the ductwork that you don't have to see, which is really nice. This building is designed to be LEED certified, and it also has the county's first living roof, which you'll see on our patio area. And last but not least, my favorite part that I will be personally doing as many demos as I can today until people get bored and leave, which is the big TV screen on the patio level. I'll spend all my time working on that part. I love it. I'm into that kind of stuff, so I will look forward to doing that. But before we get to the tour, it is my both humble and distinct honor to introduce your mayor, Mr. Bradley Gross, mayor of the town of Vinton.
Good morning, friends. Certainly good to see all of you out here today, and thank you, Richard. Richard mentioned a little bit earlier that I was going to make a few remarks, and the very talented Jason Peters leaned over and said, just a few minutes. You know. The talented part was I didn't know he could say that many words with his teeth closed, you know. Quite a talented young man. But it is an honor to be here with Jason and with all of you folks this morning. It's certainly an exciting day here in the town of Vinton. Today, as we help cut the ribbon and open this beautiful Roanoke County Library, we are excited, grateful, and thankful. We are certainly excited by this facility and the services it will offer all of our citizens. We are excited by the promise it holds as an economic development tool for downtown Vinton. As a result of this beautiful facility, I am confident there will be an influx of people in downtown Vinton, and that will have a positive impact upon our economy. Just as this beautiful facility allows a beautiful view of the ageless mountains, it also offers an exciting glimpse of the new downtown Vinton. We are very grateful for all those who have worked so hard to make today a reality. We are grateful for Mr. Mike Altizer, a wonderful public servant. Thank you, Mike. For Mr. Clay Goodman, a talented, caring professional administrator. For citizens like Mr. Wayne Dunman and Mr. Galen Connor, who came to visit Chris Lawrence and I, about this project. And for the Jim Peters family, whose support was needed for us to proceed. We're also grateful for Jason Peters, who's doing a great job on the Roanoke County Board of Supervisors. As a matter of fact, we're grateful for the entire Roanoke County Board of Supervisors, for Richard K. Wood, Diana Rosenpeeten, and everyone at Roanoke County who has moved this project along so well. We are also grateful for the Friends of the Library who contributed money toward the purchase of 2 additional streetlights along the side of the library here. And I want to express my sincere gratitude for Vinton Town Council who had the courage to move forward on this project, particularly during stressful economic times. Finally, and most importantly, we are thankful. We are thankful for all these blessings provided by God. This project has had so many twists and turns, so many moving parts, that it could have been derailed numerous times. Many of you have heard me say this before. Truly, the Lord's hand was upon this project from the beginning, otherwise it would not have happened. Thank you folks for being here today. May God bless you, and I hope you enjoy your time in Vinton.
Thank you, Mayor Gross. And our next speaker this morning is Roanoke County Administrator and my boss, Tom Gates.
Good morning. You know, I apologize for the weather. I'll talk to Richard about that a little bit later. But as I said to him earlier, you know, the skies always brighten a little bit when somebody opens up a library. And we're also terribly pleased to be here. Let me just say first, thank you to Richard and to Rob White, who really shepherded this project to fruition. And I think it's a fabulous facility. I can't wait for you all to go in and take a tour and look around. Yesterday, I attended the State of the County address and heard the chairman of the school board talk about how the classrooms of the schools have changed in the last 35 years. Like classrooms, libraries have also changed significantly over time. Some 46 years ago, the Vinton Library that this facility replaces became the first branch facility in our system. And that library contained books and newspapers and journals and reference documents. And with the help of dedicated and talented staff, the library met its community commitment to educate by providing ready access to information. This beautiful, fully modern facility represents how our libraries over time have changed. There's still books and journals, and still talented staff to help inform, but there's also technology, e-books, videos, educational games, access to the internet. Our library staff is still exceptional, but today they're as much technologists as they are subject experts. Here in this space, you'll find light and comfortable furnishings, beautiful surroundings which make the place not only a place to learn, but a place to meet and enjoy a cup of coffee. Upstairs, out on the patio, you'll find a small garden and a place for families to spend time together. The library is still a center of education and information, but it's also a community gathering place. This library, like Glenver and South County before it, truly represents how public facilities can and should meet the needs of our citizens. I hope you're proud of this facility. I'm certainly proud to stand here today in front of this place knowing that it represents more than anything else the continued commitment to both community and education. Now, before I close, I would like to mention that Diana Rosapep, our library director, cannot be here with us today. Diana is without question the heart and soul of our library system. She's been an employee of the county for almost 30 years. She started as the branch manager at Hollins Library. She has shepherded the library through a period of tremendous growth, both in circulation and capital expansion. When she began her career with the county, material circulation in the system was just over 500,000. Today we circulate nearly 1.5 million pieces of material through the library system. Diana's vision, her tenacity, her intelligence, her kindness contributes greatly to the quality of our library system. And I want to publicly thank her for all that she has done and all that she continues to do on behalf of the Roanoke County Public Library System. So with that, thank you all for being here. Please take time and take the tour. And I try be a little bit reserved about these things because, you know, county administrator. But I just love this facility. I just want to say I met the architect a few minutes ago, and you know, this is a terrific facility. So I hope you all enjoy it as much as I do. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Tom. Our next speaker is Sarah McClure, who is the chairperson of the Library Board of Trustees and its representative from the Windsor Hills Magisterial District.
Good morning. I'm a little worried. I'm like a little short here, right? I had some tall guys going before me. So welcome everybody. We are just so excited. It is an exciting day to be here as we dedicate the third new library in the Roanoke County Public Library System in fewer than 4 years. The enthusiasm for these new facilities have generated just underscores the increasing need for modern day libraries to be a hub for the community and a place where people can learn, gather, study, and of course read. But as we heard, there's so much more than that. The new library is going to be the only one in the Roanoke County system located in a downtown, which just adds even more to the excitement. There are so many people that the library board would really like to thank who brought this project to fruition. And first, it's really the citizens of this town who have to be thanked for just their thoughtful comments, their suggestions, and their involvement, and particularly during the design process for this library. It is really their library and for them. The library board also wants to recognize the leadership shown by the Roanoke County Board of Supervisors and the library administration for realizing the needs of the citizens could not fully be met through an aging library system, and in response they have supported the initiative to change this downward trajectory. We would also like to thank the many Roanoke County departments that helped in bringing the new library online, including among others, Community Development, the County Attorney, Finance, including Purchasing, Fire and Rescue, General Services, IT, Parks and Recreation and Tourism, and RVTV. A special thank you also goes to the Friends of the Roanoke County Public Library. They are the Library Board of Trustees nonprofit partner, and for their significant contributions to the project, as we heard, particularly the lamp posts, which are just beautiful and just add to the library. And of course, none of this would be possible without the assistance of the Vinton Town Council, the town manager, Chris Lawrence, and of course the Vinton staff. As libraries around the country struggle to maintain outdated facilities and to keep fresh and relevant items on their shelves and up-to-date computers available for the public, Roanoke County Public Library is charting another course. It has recognized the need for modern libraries that serve citizen needs, and they are building in response what the people want. So thank you, Roanoke County, for your foresight and for this great transformation.
I'd now like to introduce our keynote speaker for today, and I think I can move the mic way up for him. Jason Peters, Chairman of the Roanoke County Board of Supervisors and the representative of the Vinton District. Mr. Peters.
Good morning. Before I say a whole lot, I want to take just a moment to recognize Mike Altizer. Mike had the vision for this library, and I have learned in my dealings with Mike, when he set his mind to something, watch out. So it's here today, but Mike, thank you. I want to also thank Town Council for their vision as well, and also for the prior board of the Roanoke County Board of Supervisors for their vision in this project as well. This building has created much discussion in this town. So I would like to recap, in a sense, how it all began. In April of 2013, members of the Vinton community met with Roanoke County representatives and architects from HBM. We gathered at the Vinton War Memorial to begin developing a plan for the new Vinton Library. That was the first of 3 meetings to gauge the community and see what they envisioned for their new library. And together, through those sessions, became the basis of the plans and the designs that followed. As expected, the Vinton residents were not shy about what they wanted. They were not afraid to speak up. So here was a few of the requests. They wanted an open space, open concept, quiet spaces for study, room for the teens, meeting spaces for 2 to 100, more computers, more parking, curbside drop-off and pickup, more green space, story time room, lots of glass and light, and great views of downtown and the surrounding mountains. They also wanted a coffee shop. So I'm excited to stand before you today to say we're delivering on the promises to Vinton, providing you with all of the above and then some. This beautiful 23,000 square foot open concept building has 2 stories. The main library on the ground floor with a computer lab, dozens of computers, teen center, children's room, programming space for teens and children, a business center, conference room, drive-through pickup and drop-off, and 2 study rooms. The studio is a space for creativity that provides both software and hardware and other emerging technologies, such as a 3D computer, video converter, and other equipment normally seen in only commercial environments. As you climb the open stairway or take the elevator to the mezzanine level, along with 2 meeting rooms, you'll find the most requested feature, and that was the coffee shop. This will be operated by the Land of 1,000 Hills Coffee Company. There, visitors can enjoy fresh roasted coffee and a menu of snacks and sandwiches. From there, it's only a few steps to the rooftop patio that has a fireplace and Richard's favorite toy, the movie screen, the green roof, and views of the beautiful mountain scenery. As you can see, the green space has been added around the library's exterior, and the parking spaces have been increased from 14 to 85. The town is very important to me. I grew up here. I live here with my family, and we're raising and educating our children in the heart of this community. The addition of the new Vinton Branch Library is a gateway to the downtown business district and critical to future growth. I'm excited today, and I hope you are too. It's time to change this dedication to a celebration. And I will note that as we cut the ribbon, I'm going to ask my 2 young ones that many of you saw pictures of yesterday at the State of the County to join me in cutting that ribbon in just a few moments. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Peters. I have just a few brief closing thoughts before we cut that ribbon. First, I'd like to thank Penny Lloyd of our library staff who puts together these events. So if you got an invitation, she sent it, and it's a big event to organize, and she's done a great job at 3 of these in the last 4 years, and we appreciate that. And I want to sincerely thank the town of Vinton. As I mentioned in the beginning, I really had spent very little time in Vinton because I live in a different place and I hadn't had the opportunity to work with the town, and they have really made me feel welcome. From the mayor to Chris Lawrence to all the staff, and sometimes I almost feel like I'm an honorary citizen of Vinton. So I just really appreciate all the warm welcome that I've gotten from the folks in the town and all the interest in the project throughout the life of the job. And last but not least, and unfortunately she couldn't be here this morning because I have a sick little one, I wanted to thank my wife because she does not share my passion for construction and engineering and technology. But every time we wanted to go out on a date, I always had to bring her by Vinton to see all the little changes in the building day by day. And while I thought that was fascinating, I'm not sure that she always did. But I think we all appreciate the patience of our spouses when we work on these big capital projects, and I certainly appreciate her. And now with that being said, the moment everybody's been waiting for, you get to get out of the cold after you watch us cut a ribbon. So I'd like to ask our ribbon crew to get that set up, and then all the folks that will be part of that presentation to come forward. And you should know who you are, and if you don't, Penny will come and find you. Thank you.
Ready? 1, 2, 3.
This is the scary part, but it's good. Good stuff. It's a climb. Everybody's afraid of climbing.
Do you have the core memories?
Yeah.